Okay, we are now joined by the 7-time NASCAR Cup Series champion and co-owner of Legacy Motor Club, and that is Jimmie Johnson. Jimmie, if you just want to start off, obviously, first time we've seen you since Daytona. How excited are you for this weekend, and how are things going this year as a team owner?
I'm really excited for this weekend. I've personally always wanted to race at this track, so to have an opportunity to come back, compete on this track, it's so technical and really a lot of fun to drive around here. So thankful we ended up with a few more laps of practice this weekend with the, I guess, rule changes to the car has led to a practice session today that we're taking advantage of, and had a great time out there trying to figure the car out. A lot less grip than I remember a Cup car having, and certainly a lot less grip than what I've been driving over the last 2 years. So trying to dial that all in, and then also understand what this car might respond to from an adjustment standpoint. So still, just a ton of learning going on, but a great experience today, and very excited about this weekend.
Great. If you have a question for Jimmie, please raise your hand. We'll get your mic. We'll go to the side. Start here with Kelly and Bob. We'll go around the room.
KellyCrandallRacer.com. Are you getting more on the competition side of things now, or are you still doing more of the business marketing and everything?
Yeah, my focus point still really has been on the business marketing aspect of the team. I sit in on plenty of meetings and debriefs and have a pulse on what what's going on in our competition department. But surprisingly, if you would have asked me 4 or 5 months ago, I'd probably spend most of my time, I would think, naturally on the competition side. But there's really been more on the business side. That mic doesn't like you. Yeah, I think so much changes from year to year, and trying not to overreact to the first couple of races and performances. You go to Daytona, we all feel like we had good cars and we're competitive. I think California's after that, and we had some weird stuff go on with the splitter and just all that dirt and rock and all the debris that was at the track that splitters delaminated on our cars. And it's really easy to look at that and say, hey, that's the reason why performance wasn't where it needed to be. Vegas, Atlanta, Phoenix, so we're at a point now where we have enough styles of tracks that I think we can better evaluate where we're at to start the year. We're not where we want to be, but there's endless work going on at the shop, and just very thankful for the crew chiefs, for Joey Cohn and his his hard work and focus that's going into it, all the engineering that's behind it. So we're digging along. I don't think we've hit our peak for the season. Doesn't want to work for me. We haven't hit our peak for the season yet, and I think we now have an idea of where our short track cars are, what we need to work on, mile-and-a-half stuff, and then certainly the restrictor plate tracks.
Bob, might want to just shout out your question unless that works.
Much less, without a doubt. I think there's almost 400 pounds of weight out of the Garage 56 car, and around double the downforce, much bigger tire, carbon brakes. The Garage 56 car has a lot more grip than a Cup car does around here, to say the least. And then just looking in the I'm still using a rearview mirror. I don't think many are. But looking in the rearview mirror and seeing how big the spoiler is here this weekend compared to the Garage 56 car, I mean, it's got to be a foot difference in just rear downforce alone. So much different experience.
Go here. Yeah, just holler it out.
Yeah, I think My schedule this year, I will go to the Chicago race. I want to be a part of that. In the last 2 seasons, racing in IndyCar and racing on so many street circuits. Grew up around a street race in Long Beach as a kid and just love that energy environment and what street racing is all about. So I want to be a part of that this year, and obviously looking at the Chicago race. Now, Nashville, you're talking about the Oval, right? Because they're not doing downtown. I raced there a long time ago in a Busch car, and I really enjoyed the track and have a lot of testing laps there back when we were allowed to test. But I'd love to go to Nashville. It's not on my radar as of now, but fun cities, fun places, great energy. I think that's where I can really help our race team, is to really help our team shine in those bigger markets, to bring in more eyeballs, more corporate dollars, more partnerships. So I think that's somewhere I can really help. Yep.
Holly? Just yell it out.
Yeah, excited for it. It's going to be fun. We've been talking trash like crazy on text, so it's been a lot of fun already. If we could just have Rocky out there somewhere, that would be nice to have all 4 of us bouncing around.
Any final questions for Jimmie? Or Justin?
I think international attention for any form of motorsport is super helpful. And I think the regulars in NASCAR knew that they needed to lock it down from a driver standpoint and car standpoint and get their cars right. And there's still points on the board, and stage racing and championships and how they're determined now is more important than ever. But ringers could come in and take the money pretty easily in the past, or at least take the podium spots away. And the regulars are just button up now. Doesn't matter if it's the team, the car, the driver. But that doesn't mean that having ringers come in, or very well accomplished road course racers, drivers from different disciplines, don't bring a ton of importance and star power to it. So to have the names we do in our in the field in the starting lineup, I think is super impressive, and I think it's going to bring more eyeballs to the sport. I think it's harder now to be a ringer and show up and expect to be on the podium, but they're in the field and their fan bases will be watching.
Jerry?
Yeah, thankfully, we've had a lot of simulator time, a lot of testing time. We've been able to work through our driver changes, which are pretty unique in a stock car vehicle versus sports cars and having a door. It's a big difference in climbing in and out of a window and a window net and all that goes to it. So Hendrick's done an amazing job. So is GM, to give us all the simulator time that we need. We still have another test session or so out there for us, more sim time. I'm spending time in my home sim. All the racing I've done in sports cars, I've always been in the fastest category and didn't have to worry about many cars approaching from behind. And it's going to be a much different experience, especially at night with headlights. So in my home sim, I've been loading up as many prototypes that I can in the session, and just have them in my mirror all the time, and trying to get used to where to look and why I should look in certain areas and where I should expect those cars. So it'd be the only twist to it, is just spending a lot more time on iRacing and also on R Factor too, getting used to traffic. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I love a car that turns. I love a loose race car, and I had a lot of that today. I was surprised that the lateral rear grip of the car was as low as it was, and that could certainly be on us and what we're trying to do with the race car. But, I was sideways more than I was ever straight today. Yeah.
We'll wrap up right here.
Jimmie, Ryan Watson from FrontStretch.com. I was just following up on going to new tracks. Are you considering going to North Wilkesboro for the All-Star race?
I've thought about it, but it's too close, and we're not prepared for it. Maybe next year. Yep.
Sorry, we'll take one last one over here.
Depends on the crash. That one, thankfully, there wasn't much to it, and got home and just right back into the swing of things. But physically active recovery is something I've always believed in. Cold plunges help quite a bit, and just trying to work out any areas that are sore and just kind of get the blood circulating, pumping through there. Certainly, more severe injuries required proper physical therapy and other aspects of that, but. Thankfully today, most impacts you just have a sore spot or something that you need to work out, and it's not too bad. Yep.
Okay, Jimmie, thank you so much for the time,
Awesome.
and good luck
Thanks.
this weekend.